Hello, everybody. I'm not sure again who's watching, but thank you for joining me today. It is now just turning 5 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday, July 25th. So let me know if you're here, and I'm going to take just a minute before I get started. I think we're about 1 minute early. I see somebody is here with me, still learning the ins and outs of this live video situation. So today we are going to practice gratitude stacking together. I think I'm just going to get into it as it is 5 o'clock, and this video will remain on our group coaching Facebook page so you can access it at any time. The reason why I think personally gratitude stacking is the most powerful tool that we have at our disposal at any time is because A, it's free, and B, it's easily accessible, and C, it always works in the moment. The thing about gratitude is that it is such a strong and powerful emotion, and one that we can choose to access at any time. And the thing about gratitude is that it cannot exist in the same moment as any other emotion. So a negative emotion particularly. Gratitude and fear, which is the dominant negative emotion that's kind of the umbrella over all of the negative emotions that exist. Fear cannot exist in the same moment as gratitude. Anger cannot exist in the same moment as gratitude. Shame, blame, guilt, frustration, anxiety, all of these fear-based negative emotions cannot actually exist in the very same moment as gratitude. So, by using gratitude as a tool that we can access at any time, we are saying to ourselves, hey, I'm going to practice neuroplasticity. I'm going to practice my immense power of reconditioning my brain and my emotions and my feelings and my thoughts and my beliefs to work in my favor, to work in the favor of me feeling good, feeling joy, feeling more joy than pain. Using gratitude as that tool, to me, and in my experience with all the clients I've worked with over the years, hi Stephanie, hi Bill, hi Mom, I see people on here, so thank you for joining. The thing about tools though, as if you've been on any of my calls or heard me speak before, the tools that we have available to us in life, whether they're diabetes tools or whether they're emotional management tools, they're only as effective as our willingness to use them over and over again. And every time we use them, it's a choice. We choose gratitude. We choose love. These are things, it's not a set it and forget it thing, just like diabetes management. There's no button you say, okay, I choose love and this is just on forever. It's each moment, each experience, each circumstance. You get quiet instead of having a reaction. You take a minute, you take a breath, you express gratitude, and then you have a response versus a reaction. And that's what practicing gratitude stacking allows us to do. But more and more and more, the more we do it, each time we do it, we're building a new neural pathway, a new synapse in our brain that says, oh, we should default to gratitude, default to gratitude, default to gratitude. Over time, that becomes your default emotion, which in my estimation and experience makes the whole entire experience of life much more joyful than painful. So while gratitude stacking is something that you will do on your own, and I encourage you to do on your own all the time, all day, every day, anytime you're feeling any type of negative emotion, because in that moment, you'll wipe out that negative emotion. It's not going to last you forever, but it'll last you for those moments, the 30 seconds, that minute, that 5 minutes that you choose to continually stack gratitude on top of one another, things that you're grateful for. Those moments will be peaceful. Those moments will be joyful. And kind of like exercise, where if you're exercising, you're still getting the effects of exercise well after you've stopped doing it. It's the same with gratitude stacking. It kind of spills out to hours afterwards. You kind of can re-access that feeling of calm and peace much more easily than you would be able to if you were not practicing gratitude stacking regularly. So with all that in mind, what I'd like to do is just lead us through a practice right now. I'm going to keep this on our page and make sure it's accessible, and we'll figure out how to make sure maybe it'll be pinned or something like that. Again, don't quote me, but so you guys can use this at your leisure anytime you want. If you'd like me to lead you through the gratitude stacking, you can use this as a tool anytime with your phone or your computer. Okay. So for me, the most effective way that I experience the full physiological, mental, spiritual experience of gratitude stacking is first by placing one hand over my heart, So I'm going to encourage you to join me in doing this right now. And secondly, to place another hand over my stomach. And the reason that we do this is because a huge part of the gratitude stacking is while you're thinking about in your mind, or even saying out loud, especially if you're in a place where you can speak out loud, that makes it even more powerful, is that we feel with our hands our breath. So we're taking deep breaths in and we're feeling our stomach rise up, and we're letting deep breaths go out. And here comes my menace of a cat. So this is what happens when you're on live video. Cats interrupt. Okay. You can do this with cats too, because they make it even more calming, especially if they're calm animals. All right. So hand over the heart, hand over the stomach, focusing on the breath. Every time you say something you're grateful for, take a nice deep breath in. Feel your stomach rising. Feel the air pulling into your lungs, filling your entire lungs up from the bottom up, and then exhaling. So I'm going to walk us through it. I'm going to probably keep my eyes open or closed. I'm not really sure. Usually when I'm doing this, I'm keeping my eyes closed. So what we're going to do is keeping the hand over the heart, keeping the hand over the stomach, feeling the deep breaths in and breathing out through your nose or mouth. Again, there is no wrong way to do this. The only way to do this is wrong is not doing it at all. So we're going to start taking a deep breath in. And for me, gratitude stacking in my head sounds like this. I am so incredibly grateful for being alive right now. I am so incredibly grateful to feel my heart beating in my chest at this very moment. I can actually feel it beating against my hand. And I'm so intensely grateful that it beats over 100,000 times every single day, pumping life's blood through all of my veins that run miles and miles long throughout my body. And I never, ever have to ask my heart to do anything. It just does it. I am so grateful for my lungs that allow me to breathe in the oxygen that I need to survive and breathe out the carbon dioxide back into the air that feeds the plants. This amazing cycle of life that I get to participate in. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for my hands. They allow me to feel, touch, hug, cut food, and feel different textures, and that is such a blessing. I am so grateful for my hands. I am so intensely grateful for my skin, the skin on my body that allows me to stand outside in the sun, feel the sun heating me up, feel the grass beneath my feet, feel the wind blowing across my skin, feel someone brushing up against me. That is such a blessing that I am so grateful for my skin allowing me to do that. I am so incredibly grateful for this earth. This giant spinning mass of energy that is spinning wildly throughout the solar system, the vastness of space, and that I'm here on it in this magical coming together of all of these perfectly imperfect placed elements that allow me to exist here and now in time. What a blessing that I am so grateful for. I am so incredibly grateful to have access to clean water any time of any day that I want to. I acknowledge fully and openly that if I did not have access to this incredible resource that we often take for granted, that my life would be noticeably more painful every single day. So I express intense gratitude and joy for this access to clean water that is such a blessing. I am so incredibly grateful for access to any food that I want. This may seem like it's not a big deal, but again, we are so blessed, and I am so grateful that if I want to go eat vegetables and fruits and things that aren't even grown near me, I have the access to do that. And I am so incredibly grateful for the variety of nutrient-dense foods or not nutrient-dense foods that I get to choose from every single day of my life. I am so incredibly, overwhelmingly grateful for this house that I live in, this roof over my head that has me and my husband and my cats and people that we have over, and we have a safe space that we feel safe in a neighborhood where we feel safe, in a country where despite any turmoil going on, we as individuals have a massive amount of freedom to choose what our individual health care steps are. It's just, again, the more I talk about it, the more grateful I become, because again, thinking about it, the more you think about it, the more you think about the other ways of the world that exist, that a lot of people do not have access to this, which then intensifies the gratitude for what we have now. I'm so incredibly grateful for my husband, my mother, my sister, my friends, my clients, the people in the diabetes community that I've met, every person that I've ever met, whether the interaction, I labeled it as good or bad. I am so grateful for every single person that has come across my path, because they've taught me a lesson. They've allowed me to exchange precious energy between us and learn something, whether it's learning something we do want more of or learning something we don't want more of. Each person that we come in contact with is a blessing if we allow ourselves to look for the lessons in each encounter. I am so grateful to have access to the medications that I need and to stay alive every single day, and the technology that is, for the first 20 plus years of living with diabetes, I had nothing more than a glucometer and an insulin syringe and a vial of insulin. And now I have a continuous glucose monitor and an insulin pump. And now I'm doing this crazy thing called looping. And I just have access to all of these options that without these options, my life would be so much more limited. And because of those things, I am so overwhelmingly grateful. I'm overwhelmingly grateful for this cat that's on my lap right now, for anybody that has a pet or even a friend that has a pet that you get to just interact with and they feed off your energy. You know, I happen to be an animal person, but if you are in a calm state of gratitude, there's mostly every animal is going to love you, because that is the energy that they want to be functioning on too. So again, use your pet's love to help yourself feel more gratitude and love anytime that you have access to snuggling an animal. I highly recommend engaging in that activity. And I could keep going and keep going and keep going, and I'm not even sure how long I've been going for now, but these are just things that every single one of us in this group right now, at least to some extent, has the ability to express gratitude for. Our bodies, our minds, our power of choice, the relationships with other human beings that we have, the things that we've learned from those relationships, the food, the water, the ability to move our bodies. This could go on and on and on and on. But this is just an example for you. Just keep taking those deep breaths in, breathe out. You can use the gratitude stacking as a transitions practice. You can do it for 10 seconds. Try to rapid fire as many things as you're grateful for as possible off in your mind. You will feel the calmness wash over you. You will feel the peacefulness and the joy, and just the gratitude really takes over your physiological response. If you've seen me present live, you've probably seen my slides where they connect an EKG, which is a heart monitor, and an EEG, with a brainwave monitor, and they show people things that are very disturbing, and then they show people things that are making them feel intensely grateful. Every person that feels intensely grateful, their heart and their brain waves begin to sync up in unison. And that's because gratitude is the lifeblood of love. Gratitude is the language of love. Gratitude is how you get back to love. Anytime you're feeling away from love, making a decision from a place of love, expressing love to another person, find one thing to be grateful for and you will be back with love. Gratitude and love are connected forever, and they are best friends, and with one you always can find the other, and vice versa. So I hope this has served you. If you're watching this later on and it's not a live video, please comment below. Let me know some things that you're grateful for right now, some things that you might add to your gratitude stacking practice in the future, some things that you might take for granted that you don't think about all the time, but if you really did think about it, you know that expressing gratitude for those littler, smaller, seemingly maybe insignificant things are actually the most powerful things that you can express gratitude for. And the thing about this, and this is kind of what I'm going to close with, and this is what I found in my own life and with people that I've worked with, friends, family, the whole thing, is that the universal flow, which is just the energy of the entire universe, in my opinion, is love. And gratitude lets that universal flow know or become aware that we are grateful for all that we do have and we can do. And the more often we express that gratitude for the things that we do have and that we can do, it allows that flow to open up more doors of more things that we can continue to be grateful for. What I've also found is that when people are unwilling to express gratitude very regularly for the true blessings that they have in their lives, the things that without them being in their lives would be much, much more painful, but they don't acknowledge them regularly, the universe takes that as a signal that that person is not yet ready to have more doors opened up of things to be grateful for because of the fact that you're unwilling to express the gratitude for the things that you have available to you right now. So the more gratitude you express, the more things the universe will then bestow upon you to be grateful for. That's just the way it works. It's an upward spiral. So really starting from the things that may not seem like a big deal, but they actually are, and building and building and building. And you can use the same things over and over again. It's never too many times to express gratitude for water. There's never too many times to express gratitude for the people that you love and that people that uplift you, people that make you feel good in conversation, coworkers that you enjoy being around, just anything, anyone. The more you're willing to do it, the more your mind, body, spirit, health will align with feeling good versus feeling bad as a default. And the more you do it, the more that energy will spill out over, and the more you'll affect more people in your life, and it'll just continue to improve your mind, body, spirit, health. And again, you'll continue building those neural pathways. Every time you do it, it gets stronger. Every time you express gratitude, you get closer to feeling good by default. It's a choice. Choose, choose, choose again, choose again. And when you acknowledge that you chose not to express gratitude, which will happen, but when you actually acknowledge, you say, hey, you know what? I could have chosen to express gratitude in that previous experience, and I realized that I didn't do that. But right now, in this moment, I can choose again, and I choose gratitude, or I choose love. Acknowledging that you could have, that doesn't make you wrong. It lets you understand that you're listening to yourself. You're observing your own actions, and the more you do that, the more you are the person in control versus the kind of crazy thought patterns that run away that seem like they're in control sometimes, but they're not. Gratitude brings us back to being in control of our choices. So I hope this has served you. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm going to do more live streams. Next week, I'm going to do one demonstrating Sun Salutation A and just different things that I do every day, that Bill does every day, things that keep us grounded and peaceful and feeling good, even when the circumstances in our lives are not ideal or perfect. Remember that word that doesn't really exist. We make them that way by choosing to practice self-love every single day. All right, so I hope this has served you. Looking forward to seeing you live again next week. And let me know what you thought in the comments. And thank you everybody who joined, and enjoy the rest of your evening.